The Grand Council of the Galactic Federation sat in stunned silence. 7 of the most advanced species in the known universe stared at the holographic display, their expressions ranging from disbelief to outright indignation. "Impossible," muttered Ambassador Krill, his blue scales shimmering under the council chamber lights. The test parameters must have been compromised. High Elder Vox, the eldest member of the council, leaned forward on her hovering platform. The parameters were not compromised. The humans simply solved it. The test had been designed as the ultimate barrier to Federation membership. A puzzle box of incomprehensible complexity, a quantum-locked, gravitationally sealed container, housing the ceremonial key of ascension. According to their calculations, even the most advanced civilizations would require at least a full planetary rotation to solve it. Many took weeks. Some never succeeded. Earth's entrance examination had been scheduled for a full 24 hours. The human representative had completed it in 12 minutes and 37 seconds. Lieutenant Tom Reed stood awkwardly in the antechamber, a plain metal box clutched in his hands. He was a military engineer with a knack for puzzles, selected, almost as an afterthought for this diplomatic mission. The generals had wanted to send someone with more rank, the politicians someone with more polish. In the end, they'd compromised on someone with practical skills. "They're still arguing in there," said his handler, a reptilian translator named Zix. "This is unprecedented." Tom shifted his weight from foot to foot. "Did I do something wrong?" "Wrong? No." Zix's vertical pupils dilated with amusement. "You have done something impossible." The door to the council chamber hissed open. Ambassador Krill emerged, his aide carrying the ceremonial key of ascension, a crystalline object that pulsed with internal light. "Human Reed," the ambassador said formally. "The council requests an explanation." Tom blinked. "For solving the puzzle? For how you solved it so quickly?" Tom looked down at the box in his hands, turning it over. "Well, it wasn't that complex, really. These seams here," he pointed to nearly invisible lines on the box's surface. "They're similar to an old-fashioned Chinese puzzle box from Earth. My grandfather had one." The ambassador's translator squawked as it processed his words. "But the quantum lock," Krill began. "Oh, that." Tom shrugged. "I noticed the box responded to pressure. When I applied counter-pressure to opposing sides simultaneously, the quantum state stabilized enough to manipulate the internal mechanism." High Elder Vox had glided up behind the ambassador. "And the gravitational seal? Our scientists designed it to require precise stellar mass calculations over hours." Tom rubbed the back of his neck, embarrassed. "I just shook it." The seal's resonance frequency became apparent after a few different motions, like finding the sweet spot on an old vending machine. The gathered aliens exchanged glances laden with meaning Tom couldn't decipher. "May I ask," Tom ventured, "why this is causing such concern? I was told this was a standard entrance procedure." "Standard, yes," Ambassador Krill said, "but never before completed in less than 12 hours. The previous record was 14 hours, by the Arcturan hive mind, a trillion-mind collective computational species." Tom felt his face flush. "I had no idea. I just saw a puzzle and solved it." "This is the way of humans," Zix murmured to the others. "They do not approach problems with systematic calculation. They play with them." High Elder Vox floated closer to Tom, studying him with ancient eyes. "Human Reed, do you understand what you've done today?" Tom shook his head. "You have demonstrated that humanity possesses an intuitive understanding of quantum mechanics and gravitational manipulation that most species achieve only after thousands of years of scientific advancement. Your species is remarkable." The Federation Council remained in session long after Tom had been escorted back to the human embassy. The debate raged between those who saw humanity's potential and those who feared it. "They are dangerous," insisted Ambassador Krill. "A species that intuits solutions to problems our best minds labor over for generations? They could upset the balance of the galaxy." "All new member species bring change," countered Vox. "The question is not whether humans are Dangerous, but whether we are wise enough to learn from them. In the end, the vote was narrow, 4-3 in favor of human admission to the Federation. When Tom received news of the vote, he was back in his temporary quarters, video calling his wife back on Earth. "So you passed their test?" she asked, their connection slightly delayed by the vast distance. "Apparently," he replied, "though I think I caused quite a stir." "That's my Tom," she laughed. "Always the troublemaker." He smiled, but his mind was elsewhere, already contemplating the strange crystal key he'd unlocked from the box. There was something about its internal structure that reminded him of problem sets from his university days, patterns that hinted at possibilities beyond current human technology. That night, unable to sleep, Tom sketched designs on his tablet, rough concepts for a new type of propulsion system based on what he'd glimpsed inside the key. And somewhere in the vastness of space, High Elder Vox reviewed the human's puzzle-solving approach, recognizing what her colleagues had missed. It wasn't just that the human had solved the test quickly, it was that he'd done so by approaching it in a way their civilizations had never considered. Perhaps she thought that was exactly what the Federation needed,